Good morning. Well, I didn't quite make it out before the sunrise today, but I wanted to give you guys a little quickie tour. Now, it's kind of a mess around here because A, we don't have a garage yet. We're waiting for one to be built, so there's kind of junk everywhere. So, excuse the mess, but I just wanted to kind of give you a little tour of my morning walk, and maybe I'll give you a little tour of the barn. But you can imagine how beautiful that was when it was coming up over the trees this morning. So, let me just kind of give you a quick pic of the house. I'll walk out here to the fence so you guys can see. This is our street that we live on. Now we live on a dirt road, but it's only about 3/4 of a mile is dirt, and then we go right out to the highway, so we're not far from the highway. But it's hard to tell, but there's 2 sets of tree lines. So ours is the second. Ours goes to the second set of tree line. And then here's the house. And then where the pod is, if you guys can see, that's where our garage will be once we get it built. And then there's the barn. And then our pasture to the left of the house. So let me go over here. So we found out last night that we apparently have some cats. 2 beautiful cats. They're outdoor cats, obviously. And I know what kind of cats they are, I just can't think of the name, so I'll figure out the name. But I did not know this, and I did not have any cat food for them, so, and the sellers did not tell us they were cats. So I have to go today and get them some cat food, but I fed them some rice and carrots last night, and I went out here and they ate it. They're very skittish, obviously, and they don't know who the hell we are, so hopefully they'll get a little more friendly. So here's the backyard, got a cute little swing. And my little she shed back there, that's gonna be my office eventually. It's so cute. It's brand new, and well, let's go check it out really quick. So here's the side of the house. The porch wraps all the way around except for this little section here. And then over there is my garden, which is massive. It's a little overwhelming. I doubt that I'm going to get the entire thing planted this year, but I'm going to try to plant a lot of it. I'm trying to make sure I don't step in any goat poop because the people had goats. And then there's a little goat pen that they had that we'll use for something. I'm not sure yet. But let's go check out the little she shed here. So I think the previous owners built this for their son. Oh shoot, it's locked. Okay, well, I don't know if you can see in there. Let me see. So it has heat and air, right? And it has insulation, and the drywall's all in there. And then out the window, that will be my view of the neighbor's pond. So those of you who've seen the pictures, the pond is not mine, it's the neighbor's. But apparently if we're very nice, they'll let us come fish in it. So we're gonna try to be really nice, so they'll let us come fish in it. So this is gonna be my view from my office. So it's gonna take a little bit to get that set up and done. My husband is gonna put up the drywall. But at least I have a space where I can like leave the house, go to work, go back inside. It's kind of hard working from home and having that disconnect between, you know, your office and your house. So it's gonna be nice. And then our property goes all the way back there to that tree line too. Okay, so these big beautiful trees, they need a little bit of work. And obviously it's winter and everything's all dead right now. So I really can't wait to see what it looks like in the spring when everything's green and beautiful. Okay, look at me, I'm already out of breath. I'll tell you one thing, I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life by the time we're done getting this thing done. Now this barn, old, obviously very old. Definitely usable. It's gonna need a little rehab. It's about 50 yards long. It's huge. So, now this fence only goes around kind of the yard and the garden. The rest of the property is not fenced, so we're gonna have to eventually fence in some of the yard if we're gonna get some animals out here. Okay, there's my little bowl of food left for the cats last night. So we've been cleaning out the junk. There's a lot of junk inside of this barn. It's more like a pole barn, right? So it's not completely enclosed. We can tell there's a track up there. We can tell there used to be a door, but I think ultimately we'll build a new one. But for now, this is totally usable. We just need to do a little rehab, and I'm gonna fill it up with wood chips, and we got a lot of work still to do on it. But we did find some cool stuff, like these little old-timey Christmas decorations. They were covered in dirt. So I'm gonna clean them up and just see what they're all about. And so we tried to save some like cool stuff. Lots of pots and pans. It looks like they just pretty much grabbed anything to feed the animals. We think that is some kind of old-time beehive. We don't know what that is. And then these like old like feeders. So we're gonna keep those and try to rehab those. There's lots of wood in here that we can use to build things. Trash, obviously. But structurally, it's pretty good, relatively speaking. So obviously all this fencing is gonna have to be redone. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it. There's some weird stuff in here. The stuff you find in a barn is crazy. Yeah, but structurally it's pretty good. Obviously there's some places in the ceiling that need to be fixed. Maybe some new metal roofing can be put on there. But I think once we get all the junk out and fill it up with wood chips, it's gonna look pretty good. Now this area here is probably gonna be where my chickens are. So obviously chickens are my thing, right? So we'll probably build the coop inside of here and fill this up with wood chips. And then let's go around this way. And there's the rest of our property goes out there. And then this, which is a mess, we will keep with grass so they can free range a little bit. So we're gonna obviously have to put some new fencing because these are like pig panels or cattle panels, and the chickens will get out. But this will give them a huge yard. So we'll probably have some chickens and some geese in here. All right, I don't know if you guys can see all the birds. There are so many birds. Cardinals and blue jays and robins. I mean, it's amazing how many birds are out here. It's so beautiful. Okay, yeah, so you can see this needs some work. So we're gonna get out here and start cleaning this up. I don't plan on getting chickens till the spring, just because, it is cold. It's like 30 degrees. Oh, here's the birds. Let me see if I can zoom in on these birds. Can you guys see all the birds in this tree? There's a cardinal right there. Like that one's like, here, take my picture. Yeah, they're pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right. So I'm not gonna walk too far just because I'm already out of breath. I have to turn around and walk back. Now this area also needs a little work. We think, we're not for sure, but we think this area probably fills up with water, whatever it is. And it might be like a little pond. I don't know. It just seems like it because it goes down. There's some cool big logs in there. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see that. But look at all the birds. I mean, there's just so many birds. There's ducks from the neighbor's pond. I love this little log here that you can sit on. Yeah, so our property goes all the way back to that tree line. And back over there where that green is, this right here, is our septic lagoon. So now, those of you who don't know what that is, Google it. Totally freaked me out at first, but not as gross as I thought it was gonna be. It doesn't smell, and it's a little overgrown. It shouldn't be grown over like that, so we have to clean it up a little bit, but it's functioning as expected. It's a very natural way of disposing of all the wastewater in your house. So I'm not gonna get into that right now. Maybe in a future video I'll get into that, but you can imagine what it is. All right, whoa, it's cold. It's like 30 degrees and the wind is blowing. I'm freezing my patootie off. But I'm gonna come over here and let you guys get a look at the neighbor's pond. It's beautiful. And they have a beautiful house back there. and I'm in my big Snuggie, which is this thing I bought in California like 4 years ago, and I don't know why I bought it, because it's like never useful in California, but now I'm like, thank God I bought this thing. Okay. Now normally, there's a whole bunch of ducks in here, but, oh, there's some. They're very skittish though, man. It's like every time I walk up, they fly out away. I can't tell if it's because of me, or if that's just what they do, but yeah, so this is all their property, and I'm probably on their property line. I'm sure they don't mind, but yeah, so I get to enjoy the view of it, but it's not mine. Okay. Let's see. And then I have this green belt here. I'm gonna do a quick walk around. Get the blood flowing. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do back here. I might put a greenhouse back here. I don't know. I haven't decided. Now, my original plan was to do chickens, goats, and pigs. I don't know if some of you guys saw in my post. Ooh, almost fell. I have on slippers. I probably should have boots on. I was not gonna get a cow. Let me tell you why. First of all, cows are very, like, it's commitment, right? Especially if you're gonna have a milk cow. You have to milk it every day. Sometimes twice a day, depending on if you're doing calf sharing or not. That's a lot of work. Now, not that I have this big exciting life where I travel and do all kinds of things, and I couldn't commit to doing that, but at the same time, you can't not milk the cow, right? It'll kill her. So, on top of that, it's just me and my husband here right now, right? So, cows produce a lot of milk every day. I don't know what in God's name I would do with all that milk. Okay, so our property goes to this little tree line right here. So just to give you a little perspective. Okay. And then a little cleanup needs to be done around here. But again, it's winter, so I just don't know what everything looks like in the spring. But it just looks to me like it needs to be cleaned up. Lots of firewood though. Okay. Anyway, back to the cow. So, like I said, originally we were not planning on getting a cow. Big commitment, lots of milk I don't know what to do with. Obviously I can make milk and cream and cheese and sour cream and all that kind of stuff. But I still work full time. So I don't know that I have time to do all that. But all of my neighbors have cows. Every one of them. And you can't see them right now, but usually all these pastures full of cows. So I don't want to be the dork that doesn't have cows. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe once my brother and his family gets out here, I don't know, we'll go in on a cow together or something. I don't know. Okay. Whew. All right, so here's the garden. So the garden goes all the way from here and all the way back to the shed. It's huge. Hasn't been tilled. There's definitely grass growing in it. So it's gonna need some work as well. But yeah, massive. Again, me and my husband, 2 people. My husband doesn't even like vegetables that much. So I don't know that I'm gonna plant this entire thing. But you never know. I don't know, we'll see. I'm excited to kind of figure out what I'm gonna do with it. I mean, maybe succession gardening, where I do some and then wait a little bit, do some more, wait a little bit, do some more. So maybe that's how it'll work out. But I'll start thinking about that and planning for that in January. And so he's gonna build me a little greenhouse to start seeds, probably right next to the shed. Again, here's my little road. You know, so we're out in the country, but we have neighbors, so that's nice. We're not totally isolated. And like I said, we're like 2 miles from the highway. So it only takes us about 10 minutes to get to town. We're about 45 minutes from Kansas City. And there's lots of, you know, bigger little towns between here and there. So everything I need is pretty close. All right. Cool. All right, well, I just want to give you guys a quick little tour. Back to work today. We got the second pod coming. And that'll be the end of this unpacking. I mean, I have tons of unpacking to do, but I've already resolved to the idea that it's going to take me a really long time to unpack everything because there's so much stuff in the house. It's not that much smaller than my other house. My other house was like 2,500 square feet. This one's like 19 plus the basement. But I don't seem to have as much like cabinet space in the kitchen or, you know, just stuff like that. And maybe, I feel like maybe it's because I don't have like my surfs, like we don't have any of our furniture. You know, the furniture will be on this next pod. I mean, we have couches and stuff, but no like entertainment centers or bookshelves or anything like that. So maybe once I get that stuff today, I'll feel like I got more places to put stuff. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna go sit down and drink some coffee because I'm exhausted. But just wanted to give you guys a little tour. Talk to you soon.